Fly it, baby. Big win at the King Power Stadium today for the Arsenal. By and large, I would say everybody played well. Jessinho's with me. We're going to talk about it. How's it? Welcome to Raiders Gonna Rate. It's early for me. It's even earlier for you.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it? 7:30?
Yeah, 7:30.
Jeez.
4:30 wake up time. Actually, 3 o'clock, so I could see the lineup and react to it. So, dedication.
You know, we're going to get into that lineup thing when we get down to rating Arteta. I'm very curious as to your thoughts on that. So, but yeah, 3-1 win. I would say, barring the first 6 minutes, this was pretty comprehensive. Just about as confident as I've felt in once we got the third. I have to say that was it. Like I was pretty much just like, I can take the rest of this off because I think we got this. I don't know how you felt, but why don't you tell me?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. I'm still not in the place where when we go up, I'm super confident, especially depending on how much time is left. Once we got to maybe about the 70th minute, then I was like, okay, maybe we can make it through. But I'm going to need to see more of these types of performances to be able to, gain that trust and stuff. But ultimately, like, I think we were in control the entire game besides that one little blip, and finally some of the senior players and players that we have expectations of have stepped up in the absence of some of our younger players to, that's what we've been looking for. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy that it happened. It happened at the perfect time.
Yeah. Well said. I'll say this. My confidence didn't necessarily brim because of us. The confidence was brimming more because they really missed James Maddison today. My God.
They also looked tired.
They did look tired.
Frankly, once Barnes went down, I figured that if we can't beat them now, something is wrong because they had lost pretty much, anybody that could have really hurt us at that point, but again, it doesn't really matter whether they were missing players or not to me, because they could be missing players and we still wouldn't have beat them at certain points. You know what I mean? Like, them missing players is not always like a surefire, like Arsenal win. So for us to do it, to me, was kind of impressive because sometimes, you don't necessarily have to have the best team to beat us all the time, you know?
Because we beat ourselves.
Exactly. And that's always my point. So regardless to who they were missing, we also didn't play our strongest lineup. So we deserve the win. Yeah.
Let's get into it. I'm going to give you the start here today. Bernd Leno.
I mean, he was okay. I don't think he was at fault for the goal. He had a little shaky moment right after that where that could have ended up being another goal. He was okay with his feet, a little slow at times, but I think the entire team was a little bit sluggish in the beginning. His distribution I've seen his distribution look a little bit better. But that being said, we weren't really looking for an out ball out wide. We were doing a lot of passing out of the back, trying to draw them out and all that kind of stuff. And I thought he was okay. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah. I thought he could have done a little bit more on the goal, actually. I thought he could have played the angle a little bit better. Now, I need to qualify this because when I played, you've heard me say this before, but when I was a goalie when I played ice hockey, and one of the things that my goalie coaches always taught me was the most important thing as a goalie is your angle. It's always about the angle. And if you're a hockey fan, which I don't know how many of our viewers are actually hockey fans, but if you watch a hockey game, more often than not, goalie lets a shot go in, and you'll hear an announcer say, he's off his angle. I thought he could have done more, and it has to do with angle. I would probably coach him a little differently, but I have never played the game, so I'm probably full of it when I say all of this. That being said, nothing crazy. Had a couple of easy saves, but they were right at him, and they were hard shots. So if he misplays them, they're probably in the back of the net. He did have the mishandle there right after the first goal, but overall, yeah, 7 for me. Just, kind of held the back, did what he needed to do. So Cedric, interesting one for me. He's going to get a 7 from me. Infinitely better on the right. Infinitely better on the right-hand side. He was actually doing, I saw moments today where he was doing his best Hector Bellerin impression in attack, moving into that inner channel, but then passing. He'd get into the inner channel, draw a defender, and then pass outside to Pepe or even Odegaard, who was out on the right. The only thing with Cedric, to me, he seems to wear down at the ends of games. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, but he seems to wear down towards the ends of matches. So, but 7 for me. I really thought Cedric was solid today.
I'm gonna give Cedric a little bit more than that. I'm gonna give him an 8, and the reason why is because I really think that his combination play with Pepe was really the catalyst for us being dominant in that game. There's just a connection between the two of them that puts Pepe in positions to be dangerous, where he doesn't really have that with Hector Bellerin. They just don't have it because of what Hector's role is within the team when he's playing right back. And I also thought that what I appreciate about Cedric, that I know why Hector Bellerin doesn't do it, is because he's not as good of a defender as Cedric. But I like that Cedric doesn't even allow people to get the ball. I like that when he went in for challenges, he actually got it. And he challenges more than Hector Bellerin does. A lot of times Bellerin drops off and lets you come at him while he tries to angle you into certain parts of the field, to get help. Cedric is more of like a, let me go one-on-one with you, and I'm going to, have a tackle or, and something like that. And I prefer that, so yeah, an 8 for me for Cedric. I thought he was really good and instrumental in a lot of the things that we did.
Okay. David Luiz.
Here's the thing with David Luiz. If you're going to give him another contract, you're going to keep playing him because of how experienced he is and what a leader he is. I'm going to need to see that out on the field. Why he didn't tell Marie to pressure the ball in that situation where we got scored on early. Those are things that I expect from somebody who's like a pseudo captain and a pseudo leader out there on the field. So because I give the center backs kind of like a grade together, because they should be partners together, and I can't just give one if one is failing, it's probably because the other one is not doing something. And I feel like, why is nobody telling Marie to go to the ball there? Why is he just backing up and not putting pressure on Tielemans and trying to come out? And so for Luiz to stand there and just kind of let it happen, in conjunction with the fact that I just think that they were just okay in this game. I don't really think that they were challenged because we dominated the game. I may be being harsh, but if he's back there for his leadership, you need to lead a little bit. So I'm going to give Luiz a 6.
So I'm giving him a 7. And I actually agree with everything you just said. You kind of stole my thunder. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm giving him a 7 for the goal, because that goal is brilliant. The ball was low. He had to adjust. I mean, David Luiz is a relatively tall guy, 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in that neighborhood. He's a relatively tall guy. That's not an easy ball to get his head to, and he got it perfectly. So, but yes, defensively, he needed to be more communicative with Pablo Marie on the goal. That really was that's really the fault.
Yeah,
that's the one black mark on an otherwise pretty solid performance from David Luiz. So,
I'm going to change it to a 7, because I actually forgot that he scored that goal. I forgot about that. I did. Yes. I forgot about it. Yeah. So I forgot about the goal. So I'll give him. I'll move him up to a 7. Yeah. Bad on the goal, but good on his own goal.
Yeah. So that being said, Pablo Marie. Pablo Marie is not some young buck that just is cutting his teeth, for the first time in the game of professional football. Your point is noted with David Luiz communicating with Pablo Marie, but it's also something that he should know, and he just kept backing up. Other than that, I thought he had a really good game. Other than that moment, I thought he had a really, really, really good game. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. That's what I want. That's what I just want. Be solid. I don't need you to be spectacular. I need you to be solid. I don't need you to be Virgil van Dijk because you're not. Be solid. But he's going to get a 5, and it's because of the goal. If it's not the goal, and I'm actually being pretty harsh here, but that's an easy fix too. This isn't a play where he got turned around on or made to look silly. He just kept backing off, and I'm kind of at a loss for that. So I'm giving Pablo Mari a 5.
Yeah, I think, again, I think the center backs need to work together on this, but he has the most egregious error there because, like you said, he has some experience. He should know to go to the ball. I don't know what's going on there. Lack of communication, not switched on at the beginning of the game again. And I think I'm being harsh because I know that we got away with it, just like we got away with it against Benfica, but we're not going to get away with it all the time. Right. And I want teams to have to work for goals, and they're not having to work for goals. Yeah. We're really good defensively, but the only thing that happens is these players switch off. And the same with Holding. It's kind of like they play so good the rest of the game, but I can't get over the fact that you gave up that one goal and that big mistake, So I'm actually going to give Maria 6 because I think that if he had not done that, he would have gotten like an 8 for me because he was good after that, really good. Yep. So it's just a shame. I'm going to
how many times have we said this?
We say it all the time.
And you have that one mental break, lapse, whatever you want to call it, and the ball's in the back of the net. And then you have a stunning game. The rest of the way, you're rock solid. But that one moment, and the ball ends up in the back of the net. So, Kieran Tierney.
So here's the thing with Tierney. I mean, he didn't have the most influential game because we were playing a lot off of the right-hand side, obviously, because that was actually the strong side in this game. But this is why I love Kieran Tierney. Even when he's not influential, even when he's not having the best game, he doesn't drop 4s and 5s. He's still like a 7, even when he's not that influential. He's solid. You can count on him. He had some decent crosses. He was defending. He was, he did what he's supposed to do as a professional for Arsenal Football Club. I think he's the template for players coming in to this team. They need to be able to drop 7s, as that's their baseline. And that's what I'm going to give him as a 7.
Yep. I'm 100% with you. 7, nothing. I think he's still knocking a bit of the rust off. It seems like it's just still there a little bit. Hopefully it's rust. Hopefully it's not still lingering effects from the injury. But 7 for me. Excuse me. The influence that he has in the game is just the leadership qualities that he possesses. And that's what you look for in a captain is, okay, you're not necessarily influencing the game with your play, but influence the game with your mentality. And that's what he does. He influences the game with his mentality. So, nothing spectacular, but again, rock solid from him. 7. Mohamed Elneny. I get to go on one of my favorite players just because I love players that work hard, and he works hard. I was really scratching my head at the selection. But he proved me wrong. He was steady. I have to go back and watch the goal again because I know he was back there and I know he was involved in giving up the goal to Leicester. But I'm not sure there was really anything he was going to do. I think he was more outside David Luiz. So I'm not sure that was really affecting that play at all. I'm giving Elneny a 7. Steady performance. He actually was like moving the ball forward today. At least trying to anyway. So, but yeah, it's a 7 for me for Mo Elneny. Yeah, my Egyptian king.
I think Elneny's just one of those that just, the best that you can hope for him is that he works hard and he doesn't make any egregious mistakes. That he's never going to really influence the game in the way that Xhaka or Ceballos or Thomas Partey does. And you just kind of want him to keep the game ticking along. And that's kind of what he did. The only thing that kind of irritated me about him was that when after we scored the second goal, he did some, or it was either the second or the third goal, and he got the ball and did some no look flick pass back to nobody, and Vardy picked it up and crossed it, and that could have easily been a goal for Leicester. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't switch off right after the goal.
Yeah.
Keep playing the way that you play. You're a safe player, and I expect you to make safe passes all the time. He wasn't punished for it, so I'm not going to ding him hard, but I think he's just average, and that's just it. He worked hard. He did what he was supposed to do. Probably never going to get an 8 or a 9 because he doesn't influence the game like that. Right. So I'm just going to give him a 6. He was just there, and he was above average. You know,
fair. Okay. Granit Xhaka.
Oh, Granite. Good. Another good game for you, buddy. He was good again today. He's showing that even without Thomas Partey, he's a good player, you know? So I think, again, Arsenal fans, let's just accept it. Don't you want your players to play well? You don't have to worry about being right. It's not about being right. It's about wanting the best for the team. If he plays like this all the time, I'm fine with it. I think he was at fault a little bit for the goal. I don't know what him and Willian were doing over there, but they were both switched off. But he was able to improve his performance enough, in my mind, to still get a pretty high score, because he was in the tackle, he was win fouls, he was influential going forward. Once it's like weird, once him and Thomas get on the field together, he starts to release a little bit and go forward. I like that. And so I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah. So it was probably a 5 for me to start with because of the goal. He kind of jogged after Tielemans. It was like, you know, it's like, hey, you take him. No, you take him. No, I don't want to take him. You take him. Nah, I'm good. But credit where it's due. He is putting in runs of 7s and 8s lately, and that's what you want. You want every player putting in a 7 or an 8, because inevitably this is the result that you get. You know,
and what is this man made of as well? Like, he's like an Iron Man. He never gets injured, knock on wood.
Boy, you better touch wood right now.
I am, but he has like infinite like energy. Like, I mean, I know he's not an Energizer Bunny, but he has like, he is never tired.
But when you look at Granit Xhaka, is he ever really exerting himself either?
No.
Now, I don't necessarily mean that as a negative, but he's the guy that gets the ball, and when he's moving forward, he's very methodical. He's not very rarely is he sprinting forward with the ball. That's not his game.
I think it's just I just think it's so interesting, you know, how he's just kind of like always available. I like that.
But Xhaka for me is it's a 7 today. After the goal, another just solid performance. So you're right. I have no idea what he and Willian were doing over there. Switched off at the beginning of the game once again. We keep saying this, but solid performance. 7, the goal notwithstanding. Nicolas Pepe is my man of the match, and he gets a 9 from me today. The goal. Okay, look, I could have scored the goal. Let's be real here. I could have scored the goal,
but still,
Fatty McFatterson over here could have scored that goal. I could have turned around and hit it with my rear end, and the ball was going to go in the net. The ball was practically in the net when he hit it. But hey, look, right place, right time. Ball fell nicely to him, and he did what he was supposed to do. But he was dangerous all day. I think Luke Thomas should probably just get a red card because of how much Pepe actually abused him in the first half.
He would have gotten a red card had he stayed on.
There's absolutely no doubt. Brandon Rodgers got that spot on in making that sub, because he was a red card waiting to happen with Pepe out there on the right. Massively influential today. I think that's down to a certain someone not being on the pitch with him on that side. Just saying. But I want to give full credit to Pepe, because he was dangerous. He was influential. He had moments where he probably could have, you know, if one thing with him that drives me nuts is when he does get into the box and he gets into a crowd, get the shot away. Get the shot away. Stop trying to do too much. He tries to dribble in a phone booth. I don't need you to do that, man. Get into the box. I understand creating separation and space. I get that. But get a shot away. Too often do I see him get into the box and he's got 2 or 3 guys around him and he just loses the ball. And he doesn't even, it's not like somebody comes in and kicks it and just boots it away from him. Like somebody just comes in and just takes it off of him, like taking candy from a kid. So, but great game from Nicolas Pepe today. 9, my man of the match.
I mean, yes, I'm going to give him a 9 as well, but I just want to kind of wax lyrical on him just a little bit. Just, I just think that like what you're seeing from him is that his attitude is so much better now. If he would have been dropped like sometime last year, he wouldn't have been able to recover. And for him to still be able to put in good performances, even though he's not playing every single game, to me is encouraging for a player that we want to see do well. That goal that they scored, the counterattacking goal, I thought it was beautiful. I thought his slip ball into Odegaard, Odegaard passed it to William passed it to Pepe. Brilliant. He was involved in the almost penalty. He was involved in the penalty that stood. I mean, he was everywhere. Thomas was a dead man walking, to have Rogers have to make a halftime sub because you're terrorizing their left-hand side is all the testament that you need to know that you are a dangerous, dangerous man. So for me, I cannot be happier for him, and what he's doing for Arsenal at this point. It's really, really encouraging. So yeah, a 9 for me for sure, and man of the match.
Emile Smith-Rowe.
Peripheral performance as well. Again, I think he's just tired. He went down with an injury. He just doesn't look like his normal self. But today he also was not playing with Saka. And for some reason, I feel like if he's not near Saka, somebody who knows how to play the Emile Smith-Rowe way, he just suffers from that a little bit. I think it's going to take him time to grow into, being able to play with more of his teammates than just the teammates that he started out playing well with. Hopefully whatever happened to him is not super bad. Maybe it's just fatigue and maybe it was precautionary. I don't know.
That's what Arteta said after the match. It was muscular. He wasn't comfortable, so they took him off as a precaution.
Yeah. So
he's gonna get 2 weeks off easily. So hopefully we're all good.
I'm just gonna give him a 6. He wasn't bad. I don't think he was not to me, he was not great against Benfica, but he was better than that today. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah, I'm with you on the 6. I like the peripheral performance kind of phrase that you used there. Not really involved a whole lot there. So, but nothing bad, but so slightly above average. Yeah, gets a 6 from me. Willian. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, credit where it's due. Dude played today. And he looked kind of dangerous, with the ball at his foot.
Didn't he finally look Brazilian to you? Did he a little bit look Brazilian to you, laying people down on the ground and leaving them for dead?
Yeah.
Choosing what do they call it? He chose violence today.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Give violence a chance.
Yeah.
Willian gets an 8 from me today. Good performance. Can't argue. It's like I said, credit where it's due. He linked up well with Tierney. I thought the one thing with him, he does tend to kind of follow Tierney in the final third. Dude, create some space, man. Get into some space. You're a hell of a technician with the ball at your foot. So, open some things up for yourself and let Tierney find you. So yeah, it's an 8 for me from Willian today, and let's hope that he can continue to put in these types of 7s, 8s. We need to start seeing this from him now, because I will say this: if we can start getting this consistent performance out of him with the talent that he has, I'm not ruling out a run. I'm just saying. I ain't saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, you guys, it's all about balance, right? He's had 1-2 good performances this entire season. So I'm not going to get carried away. I need to see it more consistently. That being said, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He was a danger man today. And I think the balance of him versus Pepe was really difficult for Leicester to deal with. And I like the look of him and Tierney on one side together. I liked it. Whatever Arteta had seen in the beginning of the season, whatever he sees, it came to fruition today. We're finally seeing whatever he was seeing this entire time. He was technically secure on the ball. He was defensively sound as well, except for the goal. He was getting stuck into tackles. And I just think this is what we need for the more senior players on the team, the Cedrics, the Lacazettes, the Williams. We need them to be able to fill in these squad positions to move forward and make a run to the end of the season. And yeah, I'm not going to take anything away from him. I've always thought William was a good player. I just could not understand what was going on. And, we'll let bygones be bygones if he just can continue on. I won't continue to bring up the past as long as he just keep moving forward. It's amazing what a little confidence will do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a number for me? There we go.
Yes.
We agree way too much, by the way. Lacazette, to you.
Laka was good today. He had a Lacazette type of performance where he was getting stuck in, getting fouls. Mm-hmm. He sprayed the ball really nicely over to Pepe. He was sharp. I think that's one thing. The word that I'd like to use to describe the front line today was sharp. Their touches were sharp. They weren't sloppy on the ball. They made nice, crisp, hard passes to each other that got to the man. And I think he was, he wasn't necessarily a goal threat, but when he plays in a system, that's not really his job. And he took care of business. He said after the game that it's important for the senior players to not have to not to rely on the young players. And that's all that we ask, is that you guys step up when you guys come in. And so for me, Lacazette gets an 8 as well. I think he was great.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Works hard. You know he's going to work hard. You know that. Whether he puts in even if he puts in a stinker, he still worked hard, but he didn't put in a stinker today. It's an 8 for me. The penalty was exactly what it needed to be. It was confident. That penalty was confident. It oozed, like Razor Ramon said, it oozed machismo. But Lacazette, one of my you know me. You work hard. I'm gonna back you if you work hard. Lacazette's just that guy. It's an 8 for me today. Hard worker. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed he didn't finish the game out, but I get it. So it's an 8 for me for Lacazette. Let's get into the subs. We'll go in order. Martin Odegaard obviously comes on for Emile Smith Rowe due to injury. I think he was probably going to come on regardless. You're muted, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Okay. Odegaard comes on for ESR through injury. Is it my turn? Yeah, Odegaard's to me. 8. It's an 8 for me.
Let's keep it real.
Kid balled out today. Kid showed you why this fan base is so high on him today. He was dangerous. You can see the technical ability that he has when he gets into space on the ball, even when he doesn't have space and he's on the ball. His technical ability is there. It just oozes. He just oozes technical ability. Who was it that he found it was Pepe? With some of the passes that he makes are just
that little nice chip ball that he did to Cedric that Cedric had a poor touch on.
Yes. That was I jumped off the couch because I'm like, oh,
the vision to find Willian for the goal for Pepe.
Yep. It was yes. I forgot about that too. 8 all day for me. Yeah,
he only had one little, crappy little pass back. Good, we didn't get punished for it. Yeah. He's still finding his feet. You can tell that he has not played a lot of football, but every time that he comes out on the field, to me, I think he shows that he has a certain type of quality to him that we need in a team like this. I do think that there is room for Emile Smith Rowe and Odegaard, and it doesn't have to be one or the other, which I feel like the fan base is like, well, ESR, he works so hard, so why is Odegaard? This is the exact reason why we brought him in, is so when Emile Smith Rowe inevitably had an injury or some sort of little knock, we had somebody with good quality to come in. That's why we did this. So good job for Adu on that one. Yeah. I think he oozes quality, like you said, and if he only touches the ball a couple times a game and he's able to replicate this type of quality, we can't be upset. We have to be realistic about what type of player he is. The expectations need to be realistic. He's not going to be, the main creator all the time. Jaka and Thomas are the build-up players in this team. But when we get into that final third, if he can find those little slip balls like he has done for Aubameyang and Willian and Pepe, I'm not mad. So he gets an 8 for me too.
Yeah. Your boy.
All right.
No Thomas, no Partey.
So here's the thing is I think that he unlocks the real Arsenal when he comes on. I think we play differently when we have to play with Ceballos and El Neni. When we play with Thomas, like I said, it allows Xhaka to release, and that allows us to kind of attack a lot quicker. I would like for him to stop shooting from outside the box until he practices more, because it's not working. But ultimately, I don't think he did much wrong. I think he just gives us an assuredness, and I think him and Xhaka look really good together. So I'm going to give him a 7. He's just Thomas Partey. He didn't really do anything wrong.
I actually think he's still finding his legs too, from the injury. So I think
he
he's still
also has not adapted.
That's that. Yeah, I mean that's how many games has he actually played?
Yeah, we have to give him time.
I'm giving him a 7. I'm going to slightly disagree with you on the shots. I was like, yeah, go ahead. I don't even go ahead. Go ahead. I was like, I even looked at absolutely nobody in my house because there's nobody else here. But I looked at absolutely nobody, and I was like, yeah, he wants to score today. There's nobody there. Anyway, yeah, he wanted to score today. You could just see that, and you have that freedom when you're up 3-1 at that point. Why not have a go at it? See what happens. What's the worst that happens? Ball goes over you kick it out of play. Schmeichel makes a save, but whatever. I'm not mad at him for taking the shots. Go ahead. He had space. So give it a go. And they were both on target. So
I just think we also have to just, like you said, give him and Odegaard a chance to adapt to the Premier League. If you've ever watched La Liga, it's not similar at all. So let's just give him time, but I think Thomas Partey's going to come good for us as long as we manage him correctly.
No doubt. Yeah. I don't know if I said a number or not. It's a 7 for me for Thomas Partey. Auba, interesting one here. Came on late, 80, somewhere in the 80 to 85 minute range, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but dangerous. Created a few opportunities for himself.
Hit the post, didn't
he? He didn't hit the post, but he missed it by about that much.
Mm-hmm.
He missed it. The ball, if that ball curls, it goes in. Auba's getting a 7 for me today. I know typically, what we usually do with the subs that don't get that much time. It's like the NA or the 5, whatever, like didn't have a lot of time. But
he actually did something.
He was doing things. I'm pushing, man. I wanted that 4th goal so bad. I was pushing. I was hoping he was going to get it, because how big would that have been for his confidence? Come in, play, give him 10 to 15 minutes and get a goal out of it. So it gets a 7. I want to give him an 8, but
no,
I want to, but 7 for me. So
I agree. And again, Aubameyang, all I do is look at your body language to see what kind of Aubameyang I'm getting today. And I like the body language I saw. He was lively, he was pressing, he was dangerous, and that's all I can really ask from him. He's been good the last couple of, the Manchester City game, I'll throw that away, but against Benfica, obviously he saved us in today. I like the way he looked off the bench, 7.
Arteta.
Here's the thing, y'all, is that we have to be balanced. It's like it's the players and Arteta who got it right today. I think he rotated, because if you really think about it, Holding has a concussion, and Gabriel, I think he trained separately, which probably means that he has some sort of knock. So he didn't really have an option but to play Marie. So that's 1. Hector Bellerin is tired. You had to rest him. Cedric, that's 2. Ceballos, he didn't have the greatest game. Might need a mental break. bring in Elneny because Thomas has not played a lot. That's 3. So some of the rotation it has to happen. Saka was dead. It needs to happen. So we need to be fair on that. I understand why people were anxious about this lineup, because in the past, the rotating hasn't really worked for us. And we've always felt like we needed to play our best possible team with Saka in order to win a game. So I don't blame people for being upset and feeling like we weren't going to win the game, because Leicester is a good team. But I think all things considered, and the fact that things went his way, he got it right. So I can't hate on Arteta. He made good substitutions. I don't think he did anything wrong. It worked out for him today. I'm going to give Arteta a 9 because that's what he deserves. He deserves that. It went right, and I have to give him credit. I can't just be like, well, we won, but it was the players. He got it right today.
He probably started at a 3 for me when I saw the lineup. Everything you just said makes a ton of sense. Partey not playing, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I can wrap my brain around it, but if he's healthy enough to be on the bench and all this, like, you could sub him off at 50 minutes if you want to, if he's feeling a little leggy, sub him off. But it smacked to me, and I'm still not sure. Jesus himself could descend from heaven and tell me that Arteta played this lineup because he felt it was the lineup that gave him the best chance to win, and I'll call Jesus a liar. I don't believe that. I think he was playing for a draw. I think this was a damage control lineup from him, and I was not happy with it at first. I think the players came through for him, Willian especially, but I also think that I would not have rested Saka in this game. This is not the game where I would have rested Bukayo Saka. I would have rested him next week at Burnley. But it worked out for him. The substitutions that he made were the right substitutions to make, I think. So he gets a 7 from me. I
agree with what you're saying. I just think that we have to think about, some players probably just couldn't go, and I get what you're saying about Saka, but the
one for me, I get the pairing at the back with David Luiz and Pablo Maria. I fully understand that. Rob Holding, give him another week.
Hector Bellerin too. He's been horrible. He has not been on form, and he also looks tired. So I can understand Cedric. I get the Elneny thing because Ceballos is terrible. And Thomas, he needs to be eased in.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but the Saka is really the only one to me that's like, what the hell? But he also, Arteta's, what would it have looked like if Arteta said in the press conference that he was knackered and he was basically dead on his feet after the Benfica game, and to play him today?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
What does that say to Pepe and Willian as well? Like, right. I just don't trust you at all, so I'm going to kill Saka. Like, I know it's like, I get exactly what you're saying, because as soon as the Benfica game ended, I was like, Saka has to play again. We're not going to be able to beat Leicester without him. So I totally agree the anxiety, and I did not like the lineup when it first came out.
Yeah. That's like I said, I think he could have changed some. At the end of it, it worked out. So
yeah.
Well, I'm like,
if it hadn't, I kind of get it, but some of these changes I think had to happen. I'm just glad that they finally stepped up, because they have not done it yet.
And that's the thing too. Like I'm the other reason I'm not giving him such a high number is, look, he didn't play the game. The players that he chose stepped up for him. So there you go. But it's a 7 for me. He figured it out, and it worked. So I can't dock him for that, Last but not least, Paul Tierney, the ref. You're going to get a 4, my man. The reason you're getting the 4 is because, was it Ndidi? Should have gotten carded for the handball. Luke Thomas probably should have been sent off in the first half with a red card.
They were giving him chances because, I just feel like they're like, well, so light and easy on certain players because they feel sorry for them. And, it's just harsh to give him a red card. But, if he's...
A red card, it's a red card.
He's constantly fouling, and the types
Yeah.
of fouls that he were doing was insane, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he could have been more. He could have been more harsh, really. Today, I thought he was too easy on them today. But
Yeah.
his saving grace was the penalty, the handball. He went over, he checked the monitor, and that's pretty clear cut. I mean, it's an unnatural motion for Ndidi's arm to be that far away from his body. I understand what he's doing, but it's unnatural. Ball hits his arm. That's handball. That's the right call to make. So he got that one right. VAR, as much as I hate how long that took, they got the call right. I think that was the right call. I think the contact was just outside.
And it was from Ndidi and not Tielemans, so they called the first one.
But that being said, and I'll say this, and this is more an indictment on the VAR official, you're looking for a clear and obvious error. Every replay that I saw does not show me a clear and obvious error. I'm saying I think he got the call right. That's my opinion. But if I'm the VAR official, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, I don't see irrefutable evidence that your call was wrong. That's the problem. And the fact that it took 5 minutes, you're looking for something to overturn that call on the field. That's my problem with it. So it's not even really Tierney. You know what? I'm going to give you a 5 because that's really not even your fault. Because he should have gone to look at the monitor, but I'm going to give him a 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk myself into, I was blaming him for the first VAR penalty that wasn't. It's not really his fault. So,
yeah, a 5. I mean, I think he got pretty much everything right. I hate how long it took for them to check for the penalty, but you know, they got it right in the end. And I think he called a pretty fair game, except for, I think they went really easy on Thomas because he really probably should have gotten, hammered a little bit more. But Pepe violated him, so I don't really care.
Leicester were lucky to not come out of this game today with more yellow cards to more players. And this was from Leicester. This was a bad performance from them. And you feel bad too. I just want to say, hopefully Harvey Barnes is okay. Hopefully that's nothing serious.
It looked bad.
I don't ever want to see a player go down with a major injury.
Yeah, especially coming up to the Euros as well. I think he was making a good.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes is a nice little football player.
Yeah,
nice little footballer, and gotta feel bad for that kid. So that's it. We're gonna get out of here. Good God, this has been a long day, and it's 11:15 a.m. Whoo! Nap time, ladies and gents. Anything else, Jess? Oh,
you guys, we're going to do the post-game show. We're not going to do it tomorrow because I have to do something else. I have prior engagement, but it will come out on Tuesday. I'll make it really good for you guys. I know that's a little late, but it will come out on Tuesday. So take a look out for that.
Perfect. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Yeah, I'm tired too, but I'm up for the day. I'm not now. Sleep is for the weak. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Good. I'm gonna be weak then. What's that?
I say I'll be weak then because I'm going to sleep.
It's a lot earlier out there too. So yeah, good footy talk. We'll see you out there.